Criminality V1.5 was released a month ago. Now that we've had some time to let it play out instead of giving immediate opinions on it, I'm making a video about it now. It definitely wasn't because I released a video on the day of the update. That couldn't be it. Anyways, the V1.5 update is actually quite good, but very flawed. Let me explain. The Criminality V1.5 update was overall a really fun and cool update that was a big refresh from the very late winter update. And surprisingly, this update actually came at a really good time, a day before the US was about to celebrate their independence. Hey everyone, I kinda forgot to mention a lot of the other big stuff that was added, which I'll go ahead and do now. Mobile and console support were added, which were alright. A majority of the private server settings previously accessible to all are now locked behind a $45 paywall that you can't even buy anymore. And yes, I mean $45 in actual money, not Robux or in-game cash or anything like that. I'm not really going to talk about these in this video because it's not the problem I plan to discuss, so back to the video. Along with all winter items and anything related to winter being removed, a few new items were added, which were a couple snipers, thermal vision goggles, a fucking airstrike that's locked behind level 150 costs $49,000 to use each time, and to unlock it early, $2 million. Oh, and they added a backpack, but that's kind of forgettable. You'd think that two snipers being added at the same time would be kinda stupid and that they'd be very similar, if not nearly the same. Well, it's actually quite the opposite. Now before I start talking about the snipers, please consider subscribing and liking the video. It really helps me out a lot and it would mean a lot to me. And also remember that this is all just my opinion. You are allowed to have your own opinion about the update, but I thought I could just share some of my thoughts about this update through this video. While both snipers are sold only in the armory, the scout is the only one that requires the game pass. The BFG is behind a level lock of 80. The scout fires a reasonable 7.62x51 NATO round, while the BFG fires a ridiculous 50 BMG round and is only able to carry one at a time, while the scout has a magazine of 10 bullets. Oh, and did I mention the BFG's bullets are explosive? Both the Scout and the BFG have had nerfs, but the Scout lost a lot more than the BFG did, losing one of its entire reserve magazines, while the BFG only lost one of its reserve bullets. Both guns are fun in their own ways though, but if you like saving for the non-existent roleplay apartment you want to buy on Dick Boulevard, they probably aren't for you. Now the problems aren't the guns themselves, it's how you unlock them. The Scout, a sniper rifle that is better in nearly every way than its counterpart, the Mare, is able to be unlocked and bought at rank 1 with $5 worth of Robux. Hell, if you also buy Prime, which if you buy the Armory Game Pass, you've probably already bought Prime, you can actually buy the Scout with the starting $10,000 Prime gives you. Meanwhile, the BFG, which originally I thought was Armory only and had a level lock on it, and well, yes and no. Like I said earlier, it doesn't require the Armory Game Pass, but the Armory is the only place you'll find selling it, still requiring level 80 and a light $18,000 to buy. The BFG isn't a weapon you expect to make profit with. It costs $18,000 to buy in the first place, and every time you spend just one of its bullets, you have to drop another $280 for each bullet. Don't forget you need level 80 or a casual $400,000 to unlock it early, and I'm level 79. So, I'll also talk about the thermal vision goggles while I'm talking about all this kind of stuff. The thermal vision goggles are honestly not very great. It's in the same situation as the BFG where it's sold only in the armory but does not require the game pass. However, it only has half the level lock the BFG has. The idea of these goggles is actually really cool but is unfortunately so damn situational. It can and actually does help at nighttime and even during the day, but it doesn't justify the $9,000 to buy a camera with some Premiere Pro filter on it, especially since you can see just fine during the nighttime. I understand they're intended for the random blackout events, but even then you're still able to see far enough from where most fights take place, which is close to mid-range. The only thing thermals are really good for is long range, either during a blackout or at nighttime, but if you're taking long range fights during a blackout, you're just really fucking weird. The airstrike is, how can I put this? It's shit. I'm sorry, there is no other way to describe the airstrike other than being the most disappointing piece of shit item in Criminality. The airstrikes have a level lock of 150, which when hearing isn't too unrealistic. There already aren't very many high level items, making the grind seem pointless. And honestly, I'm sorry to tell you, but this item just is not worth grinding for. Originally, I figured they were giving us the RCU airstrike, and it would only make sense because that was actually strong. Instead, they gave us this. Let's see if it's worth it, guys. Alright, guys. Is this worth 49k?
Did you even kill anyone?
No, I killed myself.
Retarded.
So far, I've only used it twice in standard, and combined, I've managed to kill a solid 3 people, and one of them was me. In reality, there isn't anything wrong with these items except for the airstrike. It kinda just sucks ass. Every single item except for the backpack, which I guess I'll just give a brief overview of now. It's a backpack. It gives you a cosmetic and it gives you 3 extra slots. Good for grinding, and if you're really sweaty you can use it for combat, but it's just not a necessity. Anyways, the problem with all these items are the locks behind them. Every new item added in V1.5 is locked behind level 40. Or, you know, double that. Or, you know, double that. Not a single item besides the backpack was given to new players. Oh shit, how could I forget this? Oh yeah, it's locked behind a paywall. I want you to keep in mind that this is coming from someone who has been playing since late 2019. I really wish some items were given to the newer players. I know this equates to higher ranks too. If higher ranks have nothing to look forward to, why would they even continue to play? It would have been nice if both sides got some new stuff, but I understand it's hard to come up with new ideas for low ranks and not make it too strong to where it overpowers a majority of the other weapons.